Okay, so we're just gonna do a little something with my disco ball energy. Isn't this fun? So you can't see it. Oh, can I do this? Yeah, now you can see it. Isn't that fun? This is a star that one of my former bosses, whom I'm still close with, gave to me. And it's so fun. It's like disco star. But my tree's too little to keep it upright, so we're just gonna go ahead and like place it somewhere fun instead. Anyway, that's my disco ball star. So, in accordance with something as flashy and as fun as a disco ball star, it only makes sense to talk about something that's really satisfying. So, how about we just have a little quick discussion of living in the end? And that isn't really like the disco ball, is it? No. It is like soft lighting. It is really gentle. It is calm. It is true. It's easy to fix if something goes wrong with it. Disco balls are not that easy to fix when something goes wrong with it, right? Fireworks are exciting because they don't happen all the time, because you have to go somewhere, you have to get through throngs of people to enjoy them, right? We don't want our desire to feel like fireworks all the time. That's a lot of energy to expend on a daily basis. No, we want peaceful. One of my coaches said you want it to be like a fireplace. You want it to be warm and inviting. So, in honor of the disco star, we're going to go opposite time and we're going to talk about living in the end and how that ought to feel. I think when people first stumble upon this work of law of assumption, law of attraction, it's very exciting to think you can be, do, or have anything you want. It's very exciting to contemplate it all. And that can always have, some excitement behind it when it's a brand new desire, right? And you're like, oh, well, this thing that I desire I can have. Isn't that exciting? But then it's the work of making it natural, the work of turning that disco ball into soft lighting, that disco ball into tried but true light bulbs that when they burn out, they're super easy to change, and you don't need to hire someone to change them for you, and you don't need to go to a club to look at them. So, how to do that? Neville talks about one of the most popular, I mean, maybe it is, I don't know, but one of the most important chapters in The Power of Awareness is the chapter on failure. And sometimes, we kind of don't want to shine a light on failure, especially if you're paying attention to how you feel and you just want to turn your attention towards what feels good. But there is value in looking at what we don't want in order to look more strongly toward what we do want in a really focused way. It doesn't always come and isn't always achievable without first quickly looking over here, get through that not enoughness, get through that I can't do itness, tire yourself out on it, come over here to what you want. And so, that being said, when it comes to the chapter of failure, the antidote to failing, because Neville said that you would fail on a variety of subjects in really important matters, or you would fail in a bunch of really important matters on a variety of subjects. I mean, I think it kind of works either way. You know where I'm going with this. But that it could happen a lot. And that Neville said, if it did happen to you, that meant that you were looking at it in such a way, if you claimed that you absolutely persisted, you were consistent, and then it still didn't happen, that there is there's a disconnect there. And it's true. Abe would say, that's why Abe says, don't take score. Like, don't take score too soon, because our desires are fulfilled not on our own strength, right? That's all Source's work. That's all God's work. That's all the God within. We don't know how long that stuff takes. That's not our work. That's not our job. The how, the when is not our job. The what and the why are our exclusive domain. But what Neville was saying after he talked about failure and what it looks like and how you could fail, and it, it could happen a lot until you kind of get this under your belt. The antidote to the failure is to make your desire natural, to make it like, of course this is mine, to connect to the feeling of it being yours, to give it to yourself inside yourself, because that's the truest place, to go ahead and imagine it. What are you doing not imagining it then if it failed, right? None of that. No time on the failure, time on the desire. And one thing I really connected with is to remember that it's not the length of time that matters when it comes to imagining your desire, living in the end, dwelling in the wish fulfilled, dwelling in the end, living in the wish fulfilled. It is the frequency. How often do you get into your imagination, celebrating the realest place there is, and connect with your desire? Do it as many times a day as you can. And it doesn't have to be for a lengthy period of time. It could be 30 seconds, 5 times a day. And of course, catching those thoughts, not allowing them to get other thoughts that hang out with them, and more momentum until a negative spiral starts. Just catch it a little bit earlier. Even if you catch a thought after 5 minutes, let's say, that's way better than 5 hours. That's way better than 5 days. And just remind yourself and affirm. It gets easier and easier to catch these negative trains of thoughts. It gets easier and easier. And believe me, it's true. I'm living proof. I spent years fighting against myself, not thinking I could have my desires, obviously, before this work, and years struggling and just constantly looking at the empty bank account, constantly wondering where the man was, everything else. So I understand, believe me. But now that you know this work and you've started to learn about this work and you're enjoying creators and what they have to say, and you're delving into the original texts, just keep catching it early. Just keep catching those thoughts early. And before you know it, your desire will feel like soft lighting, and it will be an easy thing. Changing or thought flipping a negative thought to something that feels more true, changing that light bulb when it burns out, so easy. You always have what am I trying to say? You always have spare light bulbs in the pantry, in your storage closet, whatever. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You always have spare light bulbs. So it's really easy to change it when you have to. And sometimes you just didn't turn it on right, and that's okay. Just flick it again and turn it on. So, how to make your desire natural? Imagine it more. Just imagine it more. And like Abe would say, that's really a tough price to pay, isn't it? To want your desires more and enjoy yourself imagining your desires. Ooh, what a tough price to pay. So that is how we make our desires into the normal everyday thing. It's normal. You can still enjoy it and appreciate it, but it's normal. It's yours. You gave it yourself in here first, and it has proceeded to show itself to you in its in your outer reality, right? It has come out where you can see it because it has reflected to you. After time, after doing the inner work, the reflection will change on the outside because you changed, right? So that's a little something about making our desires natural. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. Feel free to put anything in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe should you desire to hear more of these videos about law of assumption and some law of attraction as well, some Abraham Hicks as well. I am re-listening. It's my 5th time, I think, or 6th. It's probably my 6th time listening to The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I've read it twice physically, physical book, but I've listened to it 6 times now. So yeah, so 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. But I'm re-listening to The Power of Your Subjective Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, and I'm really enjoying it. And I am going to start pulling some of those prayers that when we recite them, it is done, we have received. So I'll be sharing some of those that I find really impactful that you can use as well in your everyday life. And honestly, it's such a game changer. It's so good. So that is coming up. And yeah, definitely some more Power of Awareness, because I'm re-listening to that as well because it's so good. I could just, drown in that book. I think it's so fantastic. So anyway, thanks. And yeah, so less of this, even though it's sparkly and fun, and more of this soft lighting, steady, true lighting. Make your desires more like this, and they'll come really easily to you. Just give it time. Let Source dictate the time. Don't worry about the time. Just worry about imagining often and in a drowsy, sleepy state, and from a relaxed state. Thank you. Bye.